Hello, and welcome to Java Programming for Chemical Engineering. My name is David, and I am a chemical engineering student at the University of Ottawa. I decided to create this tutorial series to help my fellow chemical engineers who don't know much about programming for an upcoming programming class. In this series, I hope to give you a strong foundational understanding of Java programming and show you how you can use these skills to build chemical engineering tools and simulators. To get started programming in Java, you are first going to need a code editor. For this tutorial series, I will be using Visual Studio Code. It's a free open source code editor made by Microsoft, and it's my personal choice for programming. To download, you are going to want to visit code.visualstudio.com/download and download the version for your operating system. For me, that is Windows 10. Complete the installation and open Visual Studio Code. To the left, you will find a toolbar with icons. The icon at the bottom is the extensions window. We are going to open that window and search for Java and install the extension pack for Java by Microsoft. Additionally, we are going to install a Java Development Kit, or JDK. First, we visit oracle.com, select Products, click on Java, and then click on Download Java. From here, we are going to download the latest version of Java. We select our OS, in this case Windows, and download the 64-bit installer. Once the installer is downloaded, we install the JDK by running the executable. Now you should be able to program and develop in Java. The first thing we are going to do is learn how to print messages to the terminal of our operating system. To do so, we are going to open VS Code and start at the Explorer tab. We will first have to open a folder to store our code. We will create a folder on the desktop called My Folder and open it. Once we have chosen our folder, we will select this icon under the Folder tab to create a new file, and we will call it helloworld.java. In our file, we will then type the keyword class, and we will name this class exactly the same as the file name. Then we will type in an open and closed curly bracket. It is important to note that the name of the class is type sensitive, and the code will not work if the name of the class and the name of the file are not identical. Within the curly brackets, we are then going to type main and then hit tab. Visual Studio Code will then automatically generate Java's main method. If you are not using VS Code, you can copy the text that you see on screen. The main method is the tool that the computer uses to know what code to execute when it runs a piece of Java code. Within the curly brackets of the main method, we are going to type system.out.println followed by a pair of brackets. And within the brackets, we are going to type hello world enclosed by a pair of parentheses, and then finish the line with a semicolon. It is important to note in Java that all statements must end with a semicolon. We are then going to go up to the Run button above the main method and hit it. We should then see the terminal print Hello World. Now let's take some time to analyze what we have done, break it down, and explain how this works. System.out.println is what we call a method or a function. It is something that takes in some sort of input and returns an output. In this case, our input is the sentence hello world, and the output is this message printed to our computer's terminal. Here you will notice that our message is surrounded by a pair of parentheses. This lets the computer know that this is what is known as a string data type. A string is a collection of letters and characters that are connected, like how a string connects a popcorn necklace. And a data type is any kind of object that can store data. So long as what we write is held between two parentheses, the computer will interpret this as a string, and so we can print any phrase we like. Better yet, we can abstract this message and store it in what is known as a string variable. The way we create a string variable is the same way we create any variable. We do it using what is known as a variable declaration. To declare a variable, you must first state its data type, then you state the variable name, then you type the equal sign, which in this context is known as the assignment operator, and then you type the variable's value. And of course, this is the end of a line statement, and so you finish it off with a semicolon. Here we will create a string variable by typing the data type string, followed by the variable name, which we will call message, followed by the equal sign, followed by the variable value, which is the phrase hello world enclosed in parentheses, followed by a semicolon. Now, instead of passing the phrase through the print method, we can pass the variable name, and we will get the same result. As a quick aside, I'm going to show you how to run your code from your computer's terminal. For Windows, we are going to move to our navigation bar and type CMD to open our command prompt. In the command prompt, we are going to type CD for change directory, directory here being a fancy word for file. We are then going to want to type the file path of our code file. We can do this by opening the folder of our code, clicking on the file address, copying the address using Ctrl-C, and pasting it into the command prompt using Ctrl-V. If we then hit enter, we will have changed our directory to the Java code folder. We can confirm this by typing dir, short for directory, and hitting enter. This will show us the contents of the folder we are in, and here we can see that we have our hello world file. Now, to run this file, we must type in javac, short for Java compiler, followed by the name of our file, .java. Once we hit enter, we can type directory again to see that we have made a new file called helloworld.class. To run this class, we then type java hello world, and in the output of the terminal, we can see our code is being told to print. And with that, I think this is a good place to end the tutorial. I hope this has given you a good footing and that you feel you are now ready to start learning more about programming. In the next tutorial, we will look more in depth into variables and data types, and until then, I'll see you all in the next episode.